Let's go, Knicks. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Whiskey Wednesday night here on the Mash and Drum, as I am streaming tonight live while my Knicks are playing. So this ought to be interesting. You're either going to see me really sad later or really happy. And my emotions will probably go up and down as the night goes on. So I apologize in advance for that. But what's going on, everybody? A couple of Spurs fans in the chat I see already. That's cool. Nothing like those Spurs versus Knicks. What's up, Whiskey folks? What is going on tonight? We have a lot of fun stuff we're going to be tasting through. E.H. Taylor 4-grain, the new Rittenhouse 10-year. We have this Nashville Barrel Company 24-year, which I'm really eager to get into, see if it's worth the price. One programming change tonight, guys, and I really apologize for this, especially to Jeffrey Wack and Bo's Wine Guy. I thought I had more of Bo's Wine Guy's blend for the wild card competition, but I did not have any of Bo's Wine Guy's blend left. So he's sending me more. So hopefully we'll do the competition here for the wild card. And I'm not going to be live next week, so most likely 2 weeks until we see that happen, unfortunately. So I thought there was more that I had of Bo's Wine Guy's blend left, but I don't, unfortunately. So we're going to have to wait it out a little bit. Sorry for that. Misleading thumbnail, but it is what it is. Okay, aren't the Knicks going to be sponsored by Blue Run? Says Russell. Screw you and your butterflies. Yeah, this is, I am really blue right now. Holy crap, this looks blue. This camera is really picking up the blues. Hey, Manny Villanueva is here. What is going on, man? Holy blue Batman. Yeah, I normally wear black because it's not so stark on camera, but this blue is bright as shit. Oh, my God. But we're here for it. All right, let's say hi. Robert Schemmer, Wednesday Night Whiskey Talk with the #1 YouTube channel. Damn, that's very nice. That's high praise. Thank you so much. Curious about all these, especially that NBC. Wonder if it's worth the price. We're going to find out. KDLFC 100. Too late for me. School run in the morning. Liverpool, England. Hope you gummies have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Nathan Jurgensen. Cheers all. 89 Wild Turkey 101 in the Glen. JG is here. We got Steve A. We got Emily's here. Mash it up, y'all. Stay vertical. Love it. James Lay. What's going on, man? Tim Romero's here. Who do we got here? Leopold Stotch 711. Let's go. Bourbon Coach is here. Whiskey Wednesday with ECBP C917. Love that. William Wiley is here. Hot take, old rye over old bourbon. I said it. I actually have an interesting take on that, William, so you might appreciate that. Jason Crude is here. What's going on, man? We got Russ L. Big Vic is over here. There's Bo's Wine Guy. We got 4 Leaf Whiskeys in the house. What's up, Stacy? Nice to see you as always. Reese Mash is here. Warren Smith is here. We got Sean, Tim Cornet, A-Brod, Freeport Steve. While we're waiting, Magnus Cigar Blend versus Bardstown Ferron 2. Anyone have any input? I mean, it depends on the cigar blend, I guess. But that Ferron 2 is really good. Little Barry is here. We got Mark Hoyle. GM Gamble is here. What's going on, Jeff? Josh Fritz, what's up, Fritzy? Tim Jurgensen. Big Mo is here from Chesapeake. Dr. Sped. Russ L. We got Beer Bike and Bourbon Run. Having a little Project X Armagnac finish. That's always cool. John Legal, let's see. Mark Hoyle. You've been timed out. Russ L. Barbecue Ed is here. Evening all. What's up, Barbecue Ed? John Legalbo starting already. Jared OC. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Jared. Okay. David Vogelsang is here. And a bunch more people coming in. I see Sweet Cindy. More people coming in. Here we go. Okay. I'm just going to catch up to the chat here, guys. Richie ZIC, Appalachian Bourbon Society. Have to work, but can't wait to see the replay from Matt Robinson. Queens in the house. That's right, baby. Queens in the house. Mr. Lai, you said on your Augusta Old Route 8 review, it wasn't worth the 115, 125 because it was sourced 8-year bourbon, and your drum key debut is much higher price, but around the same age. Let's see. You said on your Augusta Old Road 8 review it wasn't worth the 115. I don't think it was worth the 115, 120 because it was sourced. because it was sourced from Barton, which has a lot cheaper whiskey. Drum Key debut, yes, is expensive if you're not a member. Remember, it's $125 if you're a member of Barrel King. It's not super. It's around the same price if you're a member. I get if you're not a member. That's kind of a way to go around it. But I will say this: I think the debut is way better than the old Route 8 bourbon. So it is what it is. Yeah, there's no hidden costs there. It's just that's the pricing model from Barrel King. We are working on bringing it down though. But yeah, in the meantime, I would take the debut blind over Old Road 8 any day of the week. How do I turn down the brightness? Too much Smurf, says JG. Just wear some glasses. Is that the 24-year NBC? Yes, it is. Not just any old rye, old 95 rye, many old bourbons. Cheers, Whiskey Amadon, OH. Hope you're doing well this evening. All right. So let's see. Brunson hurt his knee. What? Brunson's hurt already? No, he's not. Don't even mess with me like that. Reese Mash in the chat. Thanks for the bottle of Drum Key. It was delivered today. Appreciate your generosity and all you do for the community. Love the bottle shape, how compact it is. Hopefully this is even to cover the shipping. No worries, man. We went from Papa Gino to Papa Smurf. Oh, here we go, guys. Jesus Christ. Now Jeff is already starting with me. I'm about to time his ass out. Freaking Jeff. Jeff is a grown Bart Simpson, and he's freaking making fun of me. Unbelievable. It says, no, Brunson is really hurt. He's legit hurt. Checked himself out. Oh, my God. Well, there you go. There goes there goes game one. This is what happens when I put on my favorite team's gear. Not even comparison. 08 is good, but just buy 1792 for 45 to 50. Exactly, Lance. Brunson is down. Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm depressed for the rest of the night. That sucks. Guess you just have to drink more. I guess so. Hopefully he comes back. Maybe he just got an awkward bump. Maybe he'll come back. He's going to come back. Jason, say it with me. You wearing the gear has no effect on what happens in a game. It's hard for me to believe. Wasn't really limping badly. Oh, they're probably just going to go. I bet they're going to go. They're going to go shoot his knee up with something and then get him back in the game. That's what they're going to do. All right, guys. So you can always wear an Atlanta Brave shirt, William Wiley. Now you're about to get timed out. That'll never happen. Gotta amputate. Gotta amputate. Oh my God. Your team's outcome 100% depends on your traditions at home. See, thank you, Nathan. Somebody finally sees where I'm coming from. All right, guys, well, keep me posted as we go through. We'll see what happens here. All right. First thing we're trying tonight is, if you guys remember, was it last week or the week before? I ordered this online live, the Raconteur Rye 12-year rye. Speaking of old ryes, so I wanted to get into this right now. I was in the other room. Did I just hear Jason tell someone to wear glasses? No, I didn't tell anyone to wear glasses. Oh, Brunson is back on the bench. Probably gave him some magic juice, and then that's what I said. Yep, Brunson's going to pull a Willis Reed. He's going to come back in and he's going to score 100 points. You see, you watch. All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's get into this 12-year rye. Nice color on this thing. See how dark it is. You can see it almost through my blue shirt. The magic towel. That's right. All right. So first things first here. 12 years old. Distilled in Indiana, aged in Indiana and Kentucky, bottled by the Woodward Collective, Louisville, Kentucky. So that's what we have here in the Raconteur Rye. 12-year straight rye whiskey, and it is finished in Mizunora casks. So it does have that Mizunora, as all the Raconteurs do. Yes, this is the new Raconteur Rye, Richie Z. Oh, I told JG to wear sunglasses. Yeah, I said sunglasses, not regular glasses. You guys just want to make fun of my eyesight already because I can't read shit up close. um, all right, let's get into this. So first things first here. So first time smelling this, I get the Mizunara right away. I was thinking I'd get the age first, but I'm actually getting the Mizunara right away. And Mizunara always comes off for me. I get wood spice and I get sandalwood. That like sandalwood component you get in like a candle or like a almost like a leathery, like a leather type of component. Jason Coates is here. They make sunglass readers. I'm sure they do. Yeah, hippie soap. There you go. Yes, Nathan Jurgensen. I'm sure there's going to be a special Texas whiskey aged in Wembanyama casks. Maybe Amburana casks. How many times can you reuse Mizunara oak for finishing? Quite a bit. It's a very tight grain, so you can use it pretty often. I'm not sure like what that that shelf life is for Mizunara cask. Like after 4, 5, 6 uses, does it finally die? Not really sure. What's up, ADHD whiskey? All the great whiskey sitting on shelves is breaking my wallet. Walked into a store today. Oh, sorry. Let me. Cat's looking good. All the great whiskey sitting on shelves is breaking my wallet. Walked into a store today. Star Hill Farm sitting there like an angel on a hilltop telling me to spend my mortgage money. Says Whiskey Habit. I haven't seen the 2026 yet. I've only seen it on secondary. I have not seen it locally. So I'm kind of like waiting for that to come out. Rare Perfection Lot 6 sucks. I have buyer's remorse. Dude, those Rare Perfections, man. Try before you buy always. little bit of bright fruit coming through here too. All right, gonna try it, guys. Cheers. I mean, I hate to say like this is what I expected, but it's kind of what I expected. It's the Raconteur Rye profile, but just darker and oakier. I mean, that's really what it is. The Mizunara still shines through. The sandalwood is still there. There's almost like an apricot note there a little bit, some dark fruit as well. Great spice because it's a 95.5. I'm trying to remember what I paid for this. Anybody remember what the price of this was before? I don't remember. Is there anywhere you know of to try drum key before committing to a bottle, says Mr. Elijah? The Barrel King Tasting Room. You could try it. Or if you want to email me, I'm happy to send you samples. I'm actually in the middle of getting together a bunch of samples to send patrons. So if you email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com, happy to send you a sample of some stuff. I don't have much, obviously. I've only released 4 bottles, so it's not a lot. 3 of them are all sold out, but the rye is still hanging around. After coupon, it's $160. Yeah. And again, guys, I'm working on a lower price point for some of the drum keys, so we'll see where that goes as we go forward. Yeah, this is good. I don't think it's like a world beater or anything like that, but it's definitely a great 12-year rye flavor profile. Yet the Mizunara does not get overpowered by the age. I thought that's what was going to happen, but that's not happening here at all. The Mizunara is still holding up. I'm sure Rarebird was very very careful with that. 160 was for the Raconteur. Okay, 160 for this. I mean, it kind of tracks with being 12 years old. What some of those prices are. So I'm guessing in today's market that price is, I guess, fair, especially for source whiskey. Yeah, the Mizunara on top of it could have been more expensive, but Raconteur has a discount if you dress like Papa Smurf, says butt cuts. I see what's happening now. Now I'm Papa Smurf. You guys always have a new way of just really making me want to time your ass out. But that's fine. I love it. I'm here for it. To a certain extent. Don't make me get Italian New York on you. Cat just took a hard foul from Wemby. I hope at some point one of the Knicks just runs into Wemby's legs and breaks his like toothpick knees. That'll be great. Would love to see that. What's up, Whiskey Riffs? Reese Match says, I was number 5,000 for Cheesy Gold Foil and is sold out at 2,500. I kept praying. I hope I don't get through. 400 is a grip, and I'd never open it. Yeah, every week I'm catching shit. I need Italian Jason tonight. Bully me in a Jersey accent. All right, Buttercuts. Fucking Buttercuts. Buttercuts wants me to... is that the Renegade or Decode? Looks like there are two different 12 years for the Raconteur Rye. This is the Decode. That was the one that Rarebird I said I think he liked more. Now the rye is coming off like a dark toasted rye bread with almost like orange marmalade on it. And then you get the oak. This could open up and get a lot better. Some of these high-age ryes really do. But the one thing, like I said, that's really staying strong is the Mizunara. The Mizunara is really strong in here. So kind of crazy. Reese says, I got the Renegade. I just sent an email. Thanks again. You're very welcome. Okay. I like the Raconteur Ryes. I mean, I like them each time. I think they're always good. I would... The reason why I liked the Gemini last year, because the Gemini expanded the flavor profile, was a little bit of a different take. I don't know if I have it here, but maybe I'll search for that a little later, and maybe I'll do a quick comparison. I just have a lot of whiskey I want to get to tonight. Plus, we're going to be talking about the new normal in whiskey. I did a shit ton of research for this, and based on the findings and talking about with you guys, I might make it into a long-form video. But I wanted to kind of go through a lot of the different research I did I used both AI, but also used a lot of online articles to, AI is good to a certain point, but sometimes you have to, kind of back up the information that they give you. So I went online to make sure that was all true, added some of my own stuff to it. But basically, the new normal in the bourbon market, where we are, and some of my predictions of where we're going. I think it's an interesting conversation to have, and I'm only bringing this up because it just seems that every video I put out, every review, it's people complaining about the price of every release, or people saying that, can you review more affordable bottles? And, I've obviously done more affordable bottles in the past. It's just that new releases are coming out at a clip that we haven't seen in a really long time, like not really long time. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff coming out during COVID, but we were seeing lower prices during COVID and just people getting into whiskey. So they were still releasing a lot of affordable whiskey. But now everything is premium, everything is high price, everything is high age. So I wanted to kind of take a deep dive into just what the landscape of whiskey looks like and what it could look like in the future. So we'll go through that here in a little while. So stay tuned for that, but we'll be, if you want to get a little bit nerdy, then stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going to open a couple more bottles up here. Should I do the E.H. Taylor 4-grain next, or do you want me to do the Rittenhouse 10-year rye? I feel like maybe the Rittenhouse 10-year rye, because we just did a rye. You guys think I should do the Rittenhouse next? What do you think? A lot of aged juice out there. Yeah, barbecue, that's a lot of the crux of the argument. But it's also, you'll see some of the points that I kind of figured out. I missed $50 bottles, Rittenhouse. Okay, yeah, we'll do Rittenhouse. All right, let's try the Rittenhouse rye. So pretty new bottle, guys. Rittenhouse 10-year. This just came out. Let's go to the bottle cam. There it is. There we go, focus up. There's the new Rittenhouse rye. And again, 250th anniversary. If anyone out there, if any industry is not going to miss a birthday for America, it's going to be bourbon. So 150 different releases about the 250th that we're seeing. And here's another one. I don't think this is a regular release, but as you see here, aged 10 years, bottled in bond, straight rye whiskey. So there is your new Rittenhouse bottle. Pretty bottle, definitely different than what we normally see with Rittenhouse, kind of the old school logo. You have the Liberty Bell there on the top, 1776 to 2026, 250 years of America. So let's go back. Let's crack this open. I have not even cracked this open at all. Where is the tab? There it is. It's a pretty bottles line. Almost all of my favorite bottles are between 7 and 12 years old, says Mr. Elijah. It's $51.49. Price on it. Yeah, let me see if I can find that info, the retail on this. Wow, it's pretty light for a 10-year. Yeah, I think I had the note here. Let's see here. Yeah, Rittenhouse 10. Ah, damn it. There we go. So let's see here. Yes. 250th anniversary commemorative whiskey. This will be across select U.S. markets, which means it's not going to be everywhere. Bold, spicy, blah, blah, blah. 51% rye, 35% corn, and 14% malted barley. So that's the mash bill we have here. Non-chill filtered and drawn from 90 carefully selected barrels. They're nothing if they're not carefully selected, guys. This release reflects both craftsmanship and patience. 10 years. Bottled in bond. $100 per bottle. There you go, guys. $100. When talking to Bruce at Wild Turkey, besides the Christmas rye, anything else in the mix that was said that I missed? I mean, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to that archive series, there's nothing off the table, according to Bruce. So we could see American Spirit, 15-year bottle and bond. That was my request. And another American Spirit release. We could see Beyond Duplication. We could see, obviously, Christmas Rye. There could be a lot. There could be a lot. So I think from year to year, be prepared to spend $400 on something from Wild Turkey. Yeah, but it is bespoke. Do you reach out to Heaven Hill on the 2026 ECBP debacle? Says Nick Foles. Yes, and I have not gotten a response yet, Nick. So still waiting for an answer on that. For those that want to know what he's talking about, I've reached out to Heaven Hill to ask why we don't have another rye in May and why there has been no barrel-proof bourbons. I'm wondering it's because there's going to be so many damn releases from Heaven Hill this year. I heard the Russell's 13 is going to be minimum 14-year juice with an older blended in for the anniversary resmash. Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. We'll get into that here in a little bit as well. Brunson is hobbling. Great. I will say that, what was I just lost my train of thought. What did somebody say? The Gunderstruck. Yeah, Brunson is hobbling. Oh, yeah. So I'm a bit surprised that they released the 13-year so close to just the release of that bottle right there, the gold foil edition. I mean, it got a minute to breathe before Russell's announced the next one. Now, I understand that they were trying to get this out before Father's Day because they're linking the Russell's 13 release this year with a documentary about Eddie Russell. So all of this was a timing thing, but I think I understand trying to hit the Father's Day kind of release date. But man, that is a quick turnaround coming off such a distinct release. And now you're like, hey, here's a $250 bottle of Russell's 13 45th anniversary. It's crazy. It's like you can't breathe, man. You just can't breathe. Now Brunson hurt his ankle. What is happening in this game? Let's see the kick smashing drum. I got my. I'm actually wearing my Brunson style shoes. These are the Kobe 11 all orange. There you go. Kobe Protros. Bright orange. For my Knicks. Hopefully. So what's the score here? San Antonio's going up. Still early, but shit. If Brunson's hobbling up and hurt, man, that's gonna be a problem. He's the engine, man. All right. Let's get into this Rittenhouse 10-year. Oh, this is, I mean, I don't get the Mizunora, but I get a little bit of a root beer kick here, which I kind of dig. I love finding root beer in rye whiskey. A little bit of a root beer. Rees Match J, you call it. This Big Easy is so good. Yeah, I told you that Big Easy from Booker's is so good, man. Yep, Knicks and Mets colors. Yeah, that's what worries me, is that the Mets and Knicks have the same colors and the Mets fucking suck. All right, so a little bit of a root beer kick here. It's kind of a root beer / cream soda. So it's got like some of that herbal quality too from a rye that you would expect from Rittenhouse. Very faint rye. Obviously, this is, very low rye, 51% here. I got a bottle of Big Easy this weekend. That's a banger. If anyone asks Jason, nobody wants to know the color of your underwear. That's blue too, Tommy, if you were wondering. I know you wanted to know. This is the comment of the night. No, Bronson got whacked in the knee with a pipe by Tanya Harding. I wouldn't put it past San Antonio. Yeah, cream soda for sure, I think. Maybe it's not so much root beer, it's cream soda. It's like herbal cream soda. There's definitely a spiciness to it. But it's a sweeter rye than we were getting off the Mizunora. Kind of good. All right. Have you tried Little Book 10? If so, thoughts? Yes, I tried that live 2 weeks ago, last week. But I have a review coming out for that on Friday. So stay tuned for that. It's about what you would expect. Brunson is playing pissed off now. Hell yeah, get him pissed. Piss him off. Brunson looks fine. Thank you. That's good news. Yeah, I hope they piss him off. I hope they continue to piss him off so he freaking rams that basketball right up their fucking San Antonio ass. Sorry, that was aggressive. It's the New York Knick coming out in me. I'm sorry. That was aggressive. YouTube is gonna cite me for that outburst. Oh man, sorry about that. And now the Knicks are winning. Thank you so much. I actually really like this. I get cream soda and candy apple. Big Vic, don't make me do it. Can I do it? I didn't want to forbid him. Oh shit! I have to hold on a second. I didn't mean to do that. I think. Oh, he's just been timed out for 300 seconds. There you go. There you go. That's right. Keep talking shit. You poop mouth. Very aggressive. This is cream soda, apple peel, rye spice, all day long. This is Jason needs some Bad Boys woosah. Yeah, exactly. Rye makes you spicy. Yeah, this is a bourbon drinker's rye all day long. There's really not a lot of spice. It's mostly sweet. It's a borderline bourbon at this point. This would be nothing I would overpay for. So if you see a store or a flipper trying to sell you these at $150 or $200 because it's a 250th anniversary, Yeah, no, it's not worth that. $100 though for this bottle. It's good. It's got 10-year attributes to it. Good oak, good spice, more sweet than spice, but it's pretty good. Yeah, this is not Dodger Blue, so screw you, Nathan. Before I time your ass out too. Not a 5-minute major for Vic. Yeah, not a 5-minute major. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like any other. The rye bread, the rye spice here is definitely prevalent, but again, this is a sweeter rye. How does it compare with versus like JD single barrel? Oh man, Shane. Yeah, this doesn't hang with that. But again, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. That's a banger of a rye. Plus, I feel like, well, depending on the single barrel, I can't say with all of them, since they're single barrels, you will sometimes get a really sweet Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye. But for the versions that are spicy, maybe some people don't really like that. I think this is more of a bourbon drinker's rye. This is actually a nice intro into rye, but you got to pay $100 for it. There's plenty of cheaper. I mean, just a regular Rittenhouse, New Riff rye, Pikesville rye, probably the ultimate, like Michter's rye, Michter's and Pikesville. I could probably make it, or even Saz rye too at this point, especially the 125 or the 100 proof. You can make a case that those three can really those might be the best three bottles to get people into rye whiskey without having to go to like Angel's Envy and get like the super finished marshmallow maple syrup edition. Turkey 101 rye, I think to a certain extent, but Turkey 101 rye to me is really citrusy. But that's my palate, but I could see that making a case as well, for sure. Old Forester 100 proof rye, I would agree with you, but it's a very, very different mash bill. There's a lot of barley in that. And I'm not quite sure that would be the norm that I would introduce people to. I would introduce people to Old Forester 100 proof as more of this is kind of a different take on a Kentucky rye. Try this. But it's not the norm when it comes to like a Kentucky rye. All 250 bottles should be $250. Yeah. Pikesville and Rittenhouse are the same mash bill, aren't they? I think they are. But they are aged very differently. They're aged in different parts of the warehouse. Hot take, Jim Beam rye. Jim Beam rye, very underrated rye, I think. I think that's a great call out. I think it's a very underrated rye. Any other like underrated? I mean, honestly, the best of both worlds is if you go Sagamore rye. That's going to be the best of both worlds. You got some low rye, and you got high rye in there. So that's kind of like your best mix, and you kind of figure out where you want to go from there. It's just not as, it's not as affordable as some of the cheaper Kentucky low ryes. That makes sense. Jason, the Old Forester 100 proof single barrel bourbons are showing up again. Yeah, those are showing up again. Interesting about the Jim Beam rye. Yeah, I think oh, you're talking about the Jim Beam, like the square bottle rye? I'm thinking of Knob Creek rye. I'm sorry. I think Knob Creek rye is a very underrated rye. Yeah. New Riff malted rye is my favorite. Bardstown rye, 6-year. Yeah, EC rye is very solid. Yep. Holy crap, I got Top Jimmy just gifted 10 Mash and Drum memberships, guys. If you just became a member, you could thank Top Jimmy. Sagamore 10 is a hitter. Yes. So I think I've gone over this. My tier is, I still think Sagamore 8 is my favorite. Then Sag 10, and then Sag 9. That's my top 3. JD Bonded Rye is also a sleeper. Oh, yeah, the Bonded Rye. Yep. Okay. So I kind of dig this. God, just getting so much like dark apple peel in this. Apple, cream soda, and a little bit of spice all day long. That's what it is. If that sounds good to you, go grab one. $100 for this bottle. And I do think, again, just to reiterate, this is not worth paying up for. So if you happen to be out and you see it, again, it's in limited markets. I don't know exactly what that means. It just means it's not going to be everywhere like, all the other stuff we see from Heaven Hill. So, what else we got? At the top end, JD Singular is probably the best of the Heritage Ryes, and Driftless Glen, Potrero, Corbin Cash at the nerd tier. That's a really good call out. Malted ryes are another options for sure. Yes, rye peaks at different ages, a lot like bourbon, about 15 years. Yeah. Dude, ryes are where it's at, I think, especially in the near future. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And that's right, you guys are not seeing things. I do have an Ardbeg 10-year cask strength here and an Ardbeg Dolce. Don't know why I bought the Dolce, but it was there. I'm the worst whiskey shopper. I'm like the guy that when you check out of like, I don't know, what's a good, you ever go to like Best Buy or even, I don't know, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, or whenever I'm shopping there with Kim, or even Kohl's, when you're like going down the checkout line or you're going to check out and they put you in that maze of tchotchkes and snacks and chocolate and mugs and a bunch of random shit. I'm the worst person to be in there. That's like me when I go shop for whiskey. If it's like, I'll go up to the counter and if it's there, I'll be like, oh, look at that. I want to get that too. It's no reason why I bought that, but I bought it. So it's one of those things. Don't think you like the old I like all the old Overholts. I don't know what it is. I just don't go as crazy about them like some other people do. I don't know what it is about it. Last year's was very good. Was that the 11 or 12? 56, 55, 48 at the end of the half. San Antonio up. Okay. Keep going. Benny's is like that. A lot of junk near the cash rate. Yeah, Benny's. Yeah, so just a lot of crap. Hey, what's up? What's up, Virginia? Jason's mom must have never let him have anything. That's how I ended up with Guinness socks and barbecue sauce from the Guinness storehouse in Ireland. I'm telling you, that's how they get you. All right. The ultimate test here. The bottles that nobody thought they would ever own are hitting the market, including this E.H. Taylor 4-grain. I don't know, Eric. That's a good point. That's a good question. I don't know when they're releasing that 12-year cask strength. Hopefully they do it sooner than later here. Nothing wrong with some Guinness socks. Do I really need an oven mitt that is also tongs? Why, yes, I do. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens when you go down one of those aisles. You just end up buying a bunch of crazy. The worst store for me going through one of those is what store is that has? I think, is it Dick's Sporting Goods? Dick's Sporting Goods, you walk through it when you're checking out, and you literally have like every flavor of Big League Chew imaginable. And I can't say no to the grape or the strawberry. It's like my favorite childhood memory chewing gum. Just Big League Chew. And I played baseball growing up. That's all I was. So I can't stop like grabbing that stuff. It's terrible. Yeah, these 4-grains are insane. The way that the people are lining up for them. Now, I understand both sides of it. You're going to have folks that grape is goated. Going to Aldi and coming out with a hamburger meat and a damn trumpet. Oh my God. That's not far off. Cedar Ridge 9.5-year rye drops on Friday, $60. Oh, damn. I'm going to have to grab that one. The Zebra Gum was the one. Yeah, Fruit Stripe. Fruit Stripe was that gum. You guys remember, this is a throwback. You guys remember Chewels? Does Sounded like jewels, but it was chewels, and they were kind of shaped like a little jewel. But when you bit into it, there was some weird sugar liquid in the middle of your gum. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that gum? Or are you guys thinking, yeah, this is crazy? Yeah. People are lining up for them as a daily Buffalo Trace experience these days. Yes, like gushers. Yes, they were gushers before gushers. They were chewels. Speaking of Jason's mom, she's not going to be happy tonight. Guards took she's not going to be happy. Yeah, Chewels. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Sounds like gushers. Yeah, you guys can look up Chewels gum. I think Chewels came out before that one did. Yeah, Fruit Stripe, literally the flavor lasted about 2 minutes. Was it bubble gum? I don't think it was bubble. Yeah, I'm not reading that, Big Vic. Thank you for that. The gum. Randall makes it worse. You guys, I swear to God. You guys are freaking like 12 years old, and I love it. All right. So, people lining up for this shit, obviously it's twofold. One, flippers. And two, the fact that they brought this back out. This is a bottle that was such a unicorn for so long, and now they're just like, let's release it. So it's your chance to get something that was very allocated, almost a unicorn bottle. Now that so many of these are out there in the market, it's depreciated the value. I kind of made this connection with sneakers last week, how Nike was releasing some of these old sneakers again that was only made once. They decided to re-release them now, and it's really brought down the value of those shoes on selling sites. So we're seeing the same thing happen with whiskey. But this 4-grain, and now the cured oak as well, which will be released in tandem with this. I think a little bit more limited will be the cured oak versus the 4-grain. I feel like they're releasing the 4-grain. They're releasing Weller's CYPB. I'm seeing cases of that shit on secondary. Weller, Craft Your Perfect. I mean, none of it is superior whiskey. It's just people want it because they have not been able to get it. And this checks off that box of maybe finishing their Weller vertical. This might check off the box of finishing their E.H. Taylor vertical, or if anything, just having this bottle in general. Now, the whiskey itself, we can get into this here. Exactly, Matt. Because it's the Pokemon mentality for Buffalo Trace. Exactly. Now, this is supposedly younger than the previous releases of 4-grain. I don't know if somebody wants to confirm that, but that's what I heard. I think this was around, 8 years old, and the one before it was older. Anybody know that for sure? That's what I was told. But Buffalo Trace is always very hush-hush about ages and all this other stuff, so just wanted to know if anyone heard the same thing. Next 10-year, the OG Cured Oak was 17 years old. That I knew. This one is 10. This is 10 years old. Oh, was it that much of a downgrade? That's interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is way different. So we're looking at 10 versus 17. Why did somebody tell me 8 and 10? Maybe they said 18 and 10, and I just heard 8 and 10. Do you have the OG to compare? Yeah, no. Never got that bottle, Jeff. I wish. But I have tasted it before. This, I don't remember being as... I mean, this is fine on the nose. It's sweet. I mean, I get the Buffalo Tracy... kind of that cherry grape combination. A little bit of spice. I actually smell like a sweet mash. Maybe just because it needs to open up a bit. BT's trying to get rid of back stocks while they can. 100%. Yeah, this nearly isn't as interesting as I remembered the first 4-grain I tried. This just smells like a Buffalo Trace sweet, good bourbon. Nothing to write home about. Let's try it. Oh, the palate is darker than I thought it would be. A little bit more brown sugar on the palate than I was getting on the nose. So brown sugar, the cherries there, definitely some sweetness. The rye spice kind of shows up mid palate. Don't really get a big finish off this. Again, only 100 proof, but the rye spice is there mid palate. Decent texture. Borderline thin. I think it's a little bit better than thin. Jason, what is the retail on that new 4-grain? It's like $80 or something. 79, 79.99, 69.99, something like that. Yeah, 79.99, Jeff. Yep. Retail. And I know people are trying to snag these or sell these for about $500 on secondary, which is outrageous now tasting it. It's not worth nearly that much. Yeah. Remember the grain of the gods? Oh, that thing was such shit. The grain of the gods was so bad. It was interesting. Maybe it wasn't bad. It was just a completely different type of take. The amaranth. But I remember when I did the blind of all of them, and I think, if I remember correctly, Cured Oak was my favorite. I'm pretty sure Cured Oak ended up being my favorite of all of them. It had this old school, funky, just this flavor profile that was so different and unique. I think the Cured Oak was my favorite. Now, I don't know if the new Cured Oak tastes anything like the old one, but I think when I tasted them blind, Cured Oak was my favorite. I would have to go back and check the results, but I'm pretty sure Cured Oak was my favorite. Yeah, Amaranth of the Gods. Was it Seasoned Wood that was my favorite? Maybe it was Seasoned Wood. Maybe it was Seasoned Wood. I would have to go back. It's excuse me. It's either Cured Oak or it's Seasoned Wood, for sure. I love the 18-year marriage. That thing was really good. 18-year marriage was delicious. I saw a post of a guy moving 2 cases in one pick. Also saw a post moving 2 cases of gold foil. It's interesting that secondary is dead for everything but the top height. Yes, Jeff, and we'll get into that here in a little bit too. Hey, Jason, I know a lot of people are asking about your arm tattoo, but I want to know what that ugly logo on your hat says. Yeah, Tommy, I'll actually tell Tommy. Hold on a second. Chat's catching up here. Yeah, I'll tell Tommy right after I time his ass out for, I'm going to time out for, I'll give him a minute. There you go, Tommy. Good way to be a dick. I take one cheesy go foil versus, yeah, I mean, people paying $500 for this bottle, but they're complaining about the $400 price tag on the gold foil, where the gold foil is S tier, and this is like B tier. I don't know. What's been the bottle of the decade, 2016 to 2026? Matt Carter, the bottle of the decade. I mean, I still would maintain that it's Russell's 15. Because every person compares everything to Russell's 15. Do you guys disagree? Agree? Bottle of the decade? I think Russell's 15 is easily the answer. Maybe the William Heaven Hill 19 could probably be up there. Did Booker's Rye come? Oh, yeah, Booker's Rye. Booker's Rye you could put up there. Yeah, Booker's Rye. Probably Booker's Rye. I would have Booker's Rye and then maybe Russell's 15. That would probably be my favorite. Jack 14, I wouldn't put up there, even though I think Jack 14 is a big milestone, probably a top 10. Oh, yeah, Bardstown Bourbon Company Chateau, number 1. That's probably the best finished bottle of the decade. I should do a video, best bottles of the decade, but I just wish I had some Booker's Rye. I don't have any Booker's Rye. Heaven Hill 17, I could see that somewhat. Might be one of the best bottles Heaven Hill's ever released, along with the 19 William Heaven Hill. Coy Hill, you could put up there. What's up, Matt Himes? Coy Hill was a huge release for Jack Daniels. That's a really good question. Whiskeys of the decade. I should take a deeper dive into that. I love that idea, guys. CNE, James Lay. I don't know if I'd put CNE up there. Russell's 15, I think, is still overall a better whiskey. Oh, shit, yeah, Bardstown Chateau 1 was so good. Good call. Booker's for best rye. Russell Reserve 15, best bourbon. BBC Chateau, best finished. Coy Hill, best Tennessee. There you go. Here's your roundup right here, guys. You're not going to convince me that any Pappy or any special... You could probably make a case for a couple of GTSs in that time, George T. Staggs. It's just there's too many to kind of like figure out because they release one every year. You could probably make a case for George T. Stagg being in that mix somewhere, depending on the year, for sure. Yeah, or even a William Lee Weller, for sure. Oh, man. Come on. 13th Colony Double Oak did get kind of S tier. That was very... Also, not just like a good rye. I'm sorry, not just a good bourbon, but it was also culturally impactful. It was just like one of those bourbons that changed bourbon culture. It sparked a lot of controversy when you think about it, when you're getting into what that bourbon meant, what it started as far as articles and jealousy and all this weird, investigative reporting that kind of sparked after that. You can make a case for 13 Colony and Double Oak that what happened after you did that. Reesmash, how about that Blade and Bow? The Blade and Bow. Yeah, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. Glendronach, I like Nathan's analysis. Yeah, bourbon guys got so damn weird about 13 Colony. Yeah, it got weird. It got real weird. The investigative reporting was so bizarre. It's like people from Kentucky were pissed that a Georgia bourbon brand was getting so much publicity. It was wild. It really did get wild for a little while. What's the worst popular release of the last decade? The worst popular release? That's a really good question. What is the worst popular release? What bottle came out that just was the biggest disappointment in the last decade? But there are a lot of releases in the decade that you can point to as releases that were like big milestones. Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. Nobody thought that was going to be nobody thought we'd ever see an ultra aged cellar age. So that was significant for the time. All the Blue Run. Tommy, welcome back, buddy. OGD 16 year. I think to a certain extent, Hidden Barn. I don't think I would call it the worst, but I would definitely call it like a high expectation that really, really fell flat. I don't think anybody ever expected it to be like the best thing ever, but that first release had a heavy set expectation with Jackie Zykin involved, and it just really fell flat and never really recovered. Yeah, too many disappointments to count. Any label that says bespoke, Buttercuts. I like where you're at there. The new Early Times Bottle and Bond, Jeff the Creed. You can make a case for the King of Kentucky small batches. I don't care what anybody says; those are not great. Trying to think here. Ow, shit. I mean, any birthday bourbon from the last 6, 7 years, they all suck. Care what anybody says. I don't care if you won in the lottery, you don't think it's half bad, they suck. Old Forester birthday bourbon sucks. They're all low proof, they got some nice age to it, but there's just nothing to them. They thin. I've never had a viscous Old Forester birthday bourbon. I don't care what I say because they don't send me shit anyway, so I'm just going to make it worse. Old Forester birthday bourbon is probably the most overhyped, underperforming bourbon of all time. From soup to nuts, it sucks. It all sucks. Oh, Castle and Key #1. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Drum Key Spirits. Yeah, let's throw Drum Key in there. I've had 4 releases, but yeah, we could throw it in there. Why not? I should time his ass off for that too. Tequila finished LEs. That's like Middleton Very Rare, overpriced 40% whiskey. Rant. Wait, was that Jason Adam meant to said E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye? Dead on. Dude, that's a great call out. I know there's a lot of people that love E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye, but if you really put that against other barrel proof options, you could taste how young it is. You really can. You really can taste how young it is. There's something to that. I'm telling you. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye, great on its own. High proof, sweet, everything you love about good Buffalo Trace. Some batches are better than others. I'm not sure how the age ranges are, from batch to batch to batch. I don't think we'll ever know. But generally, they're kind of unimpressive, especially these later batches. Hey, what's up, Sawyer? Thomas S. More series missed. Oh, Thomas S. More series really missed the boat. Weller Millennium. I mean, yeah, you could probably call out any of those Wellers. Let's see, the Booker's Cinnamon Rye is still coming. Yes. Do we have high expectations for the Booker's Cinnamon Rye? Elmer T. Lee. I don't know. It's hard for me to hate on Elmer T. Lee. I still have a soft spot for that bottle. Okay. So this is fine. It's good. I do like that right in the mid palate, you get a burst of rye and brown sugar, but then it just kind of fades away real quick. The best part is that mid palate. Other than that, it's just a really good, solid, sweet Buffalo Trace product. It's nothing that you should be paying $500 for. If you happen to get online at Buffalo Trace and get it for $80, awesome. That's about what it is. It's a good $80 product, 100 proof. Little baking spice starting to emerge here too. This might open up, get a little bit better. I'll do a full review on this. But then the brown sugar, I feel like, is getting a little. Maybe it's not brown sugar. Maybe it's more of like the top of that creme brulee a little bit. Spurs up by 9. Oh my God, the Knicks better turn it on. Broken Clock is right twice a day. Says it. Anything with a butterfly on it? Yeah. I mean, but you guys, you guys have to remember, I called bullshit on Blue Run from the beginning. If there's anything I'm going to ever take credit for in whiskey, it's that I called bullshit on Blue Run before anybody else did. And I knew what they were going to do. They were going to pump up the brand, market it, all this bullshit, pump up their profit loss statement, and then sell it immediately when it was time. I was right. That's all they were in it for. They want to say, oh, they want to honor the people from back when with our new Blue Run. Bullshit. That's all they wanted. Money. They were cashing in on a hot market with some fancy marketing from a Nike designer, from a Facebook guy, and all that bullshit in between. That's all it was. I called it from the beginning. I could see bullshit. There's no butterfly on this. Come on. High West has fumbled the bag more than any other company over the past 7 years. Yeah, but I think also Blue Run, not Blue Run. I think High West also. Remember, they were bought out by Constellation Brands, and you just never know what's going to happen when it gets bought out. Trends, you glad it died? Yeah, Amberana for sure. Those mock-ups of the Blue Run property were well worth the price alone. Yeah, Jeff, they just did that to up the value. That's all it was. That was just a ploy to up the value. I could see dead brands, but the butterfly comes in different colors. I know. The new pride of Anderson County minus David Jennings, blatantly associating his reputation for 9-year barrels for 300. Sunday evening scotch. I don't know what David's. I'm not going to speak for David. I don't know what his exact viewpoint is on this, but this sucks and it's bullshit. It sucks and it's bullshit. It's another rare character cash grab. It sucks. That entire bottle in the first place was built off of David choosing those barrels and doing it. The fact that he's not involved, they're still charging $300 for 8-year juice is insane. Blue Run or Uncle Nearest? Oh, we're going to talk about Uncle Nearest. They're in the news too. Okay. While we're about to get into the news here, I'm going to crack open this Nashville Barrel Company. Speaking of high age, but it's good. Have you tried it, Big Vic? You can't tell me there's an 8-year Wild Turkey barrel that's worth $300. I know. Big Vic is a rare character fanboy. He has like a tattoo of RC right on his shoulder. Anderson County sounds like Kentucky Owl. I forgot Smoke Wagon existed. Big Vic, you've had it? Dude, there's no way it's $300 good. Yeah, I mean, check it out, guys. Nashville Barrel Company. Let's focus in. 111.50 proof. There's the age. 24 years old. There you go. Yeah, it looks dark as hell. I think, like anything, I think Smoke Wagon still has a place. I just think that, like anybody else, I mean, he was tearing through so many batches. He went through all like the high age stocks. So we haven't, and it's interesting too because we haven't seen like a super high age Smoke Wagon blend in quite a while. At least that I think. Man, you need to drink that Barton 24-year 30 minutes after pouring. I'm gonna let this sit out for a little while before I get in there. Also tried Smoke Wagon cut unfiltered. We'll get into meme of the week. Sorry I'm late, but I agree with Sagamore 8. But did you like 8A or 8B better? 8A I think I liked. I'm still waiting on the Kentucky Owl theme part, getting a little impatient. I think we're all still waiting for that ADHD whiskey. Oh my God, that's so dark. Spurs up 13, but no one can hit anything right now. I mean, I don't want to like say this, but I really do feel like the Knicks were going to come out a little bit flat. They haven't played in a week. When they came out against the first game against Cleveland, they ended up winning the first game, but they came out looking like shit. So I'm just wondering if it's going to take a little time for the Knicks to get their legs under them here a little bit. Maybe they have a big fourth quarter. They've been doing it in the entire playoffs. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Honey Barrel Hunter. That was a nice cork pop and glug, glug, glug. The very first glug, glug, glug from a new bottle is one of the finer things in life. That's true. Holy wow. So this is Barton juice. We're going to let that sit a minute. And then we're gonna put this against some other high ages, see how it stacks up. Some other high age whiskeys. I'll let you guys call that out here in a little bit. But let's get into some news stories as we always do, because there's a lot of news happening in the world of bourbon. First and foremost, we talked about it here briefly. There it is. Russell's 13, as I had mentioned, they just announced this today. Literally not even a week after they released the cheesy, or I should say the gold foil edition of the Austin Nichols Archives. Russell Reserve 13-year-old bourbon returns for Eddie Russell's 45th anniversary. The spring 2026 edition arrives this month with a commemorative label honoring Russell's 4.5 decades at the Lawrenceburg Distillery. This is all about Eddie Russell, who began working at Wild Turkey in 1981, initially taking what was intended to be a summer job. Over the next 45 years, he worked across nearly every aspect of production, bringing us Russell's Reserve, Master's Keep, and other amazing releases. So now the opportunity to celebrate his own 45 years of a new release, a bourbon that really showcases how I approach the craft, and to see my story shared through this film is incredibly special. So there will be a documentary made about this. So the annual release continues the barrel proof tradition, coming at 121.2 proof, another hefty proof point from Wild Turkey, and includes barrels personally selected by Russell. While we were filming, Dad actually pulled an 18-year-old barrel, and we tasted it together, of course. It was exceptional. That barrel ended up in this year's 13-year-old release. Suggested retail price on this is going to be $200. As part of the anniversary, the documentary called His Own Way, the story of Eddie Russell, will screen for one day only on June 23rd at select Alamo Drafthouse theaters nationwide before a showing of Field of Dreams. I'm sure eventually they'll release it online if you guys want to see it too. So there you have it. What Bruce Russell said in the press release, not in the press release, but what he said at the event. He did say there was an 18-year barrel in there, so it looks like it's 13 to 18. Not sure how much 18 is in there, but Eddie Russell does like older whiskey. He likes that oak, so not surprising that he put some older whiskey in there. So for that, that's probably going to drive up the secondary market. I've already seen one of these bottles that have already hit the market today for $700. That will most likely come down. But anytime you put a 45th anniversary or some sort of celebration moniker on it, that's any sort of milestone, it's going to command more money. Just like, remember this, we're still waiting for this release. Remember when we talked about this a few months ago? Elmer T. Lee 40th year anniversary edition, 127.8 proof. Not sure how many of this we're going to see. Is this going to come out? I mean, basically, this is a beefed up, highly marketed, probably more selected version of Blanton's straight from the barrel. That's all it is. Probably aged somewhere different, and probably, like I said, more select barrels, but that's what it's going to be. Let's see. That's kind of a weird picture of that one. Here's a better picture. Four Roses is releasing its oldest bourbon yet, a 21-year-old single barrel. The 124.9 proof whiskey limited to just 1,300 bottles. This is wild to me. Well, I guess there's probably different barrels, but you say 21-year-old single barrel, it means one barrel, but 1,300 bottles. I'm guessing there's a few more than just one barrel. It's the inaugural release in Anthology, a new annual series of ultra-premium bourbons, because that's what we needed, more ultra-premium bourbons. Four Roses is entering the increasingly crowded world of ultra-aged collectible bourbon with what may be the most ambitious limited release to date. The inaugural bottling, Chapter 1, Origin, arrives at 21 years old, making it the oldest bourbon ever released by Four Roses. While age statements north of 2 decades have become a growing status symbol, Four Roses has historically approached the older whiskey cautiously. The whiskey was made using Four Roses' OBSF recipe, a formula well known among bourbon enthusiasts for its herbal spice and fruit-forward profile. Let's see. The release also arrives during a particularly active period for the distillery, which has spent the past several years expanding production capacity while building out its premium limited edition portfolio. So 21 years, approximately 1,300 bottles. MSRP for this one, guys, $500. This will be $500, which is probably the highest retail bottle I've ever seen from Four Roses. I mean, you talk about 21 years old. That's what it's going to be. 21-year-old whiskey. That's pretty wild. Let's go to the next one here. Speaking of Four Roses, I'm just going to throw this in while we're talking about Four Roses. Looks like they're coming out with an experimental series honey cask finish. What is happening at Four Roses? all this time we're like, Four Roses doesn't really release any limited editions outside their LE every year. Now they have a honey cask. They never do finishes. Now we have a honey cask. It's like, dude, for be careful what you wish for, because now it looks like Four Roses with after being purchased by Gallo, looks like we'll probably see more of this stuff coming from them, because Gallo's like, show me the money, show me that investment money. Let's talk about Slane. We'll talk about this real quick, guys. This is more about another distillery halting production. Unfortunately, it looks like we have Slane whiskey, which is a Brown-Forman brand. It's the latest sign of a slowing whiskey market. American Spirits is halting. American Spirits giant Brown-Forman is halting production of Slane Irish whiskey, a nearly 2-decade-old distiller based out of the Slane Castle Estate in County Meath, Ireland. The distillery, founded by father and son duo Henry and Alex Cunningham, which I had Alex on the channel once, a long time ago, which was purchased by the Jack Daniels owner in 2015. So they're halting for the time being. We have a robust supply of maturing whiskey, ensuring there will be no interruption in the availability of Slane for our customers worldwide. So looks like Slane is shutting down. We also have Whiskey House, who's also shutting down. Now, Whiskey House you might have heard of, because Whiskey House has one of the most, technologically advanced warehouses that are set up that we've seen. They are cutting their Whiskey House in Kentucky, a contract distillery in Elizabethtown, founded by former Bardstown Bourbon Company executives, laid off about 30% of its workforce as slowing whiskey demand continues to ripple through the industry. We were among the latest one of the last contract manufacturers to make workforce adjustments, and we fully expect to be among the first to bring employees back as demand returns. Whiskey House opened in July 2024 as a large-scale custom distilling producing bourbon. The company was founded in 2021 by David Mandel. That's his name, sorry. Despite the layoffs, Mandel pointed to signs of improving demand and growth. So there you go. Another slowdown for the whiskey industry. We seem to be seeing this happen. It seems like each and every week there's a new story about this. But let's get into the drama that is Uncle Nearest. All right, a couple different stories here for Uncle Nearest. First, Uncle Nearest was losing $135,000 a week, the court says. A federal court has denied an effort by Uncle Nearest founders Fawn and Keith Weaver to end the whiskey company's receivership, ruling that the business remains insolvent and was hemorrhaging money. Now, there's a number that they are associating to it, and the number is $135,000 per week before receiver Philip G. Young Jr. was appointed in August 2025. I mean, just crazy. They really say that Uncle Nearest, under Fawn Weaver's control, was far better at spending money than making it. The Weavers argued the whiskey company was worth between $300 million and $325 million, which would make it solvent despite its debt obligations. So that's the first story that we saw from there. Now, the next one is that Uncle Nearest apparently has found a buyer amid a $100 million loan dispute. Now, according to a filing made on June 1st, Uncle Nearest court-ordered receiver has found a buyer for the whiskey brand and its Nearest Green distillery in Shelbyville. Omitted from the deal is a residential property bought for commercial purposes in Martha's Vineyard and the brand's 100-acre Domaine Saint Martin estate in Cognac, France. The buyers asked to remain confidential until the purchase is finalized, which the filing states is expected to take place within the next 45 days. So within the next 45 days, we're going to have a new owner of Uncle Nearest. We don't know who it is, at least yet, but it will be interesting to see exactly what happens. Will it be an African-American owner to come in and kind of revitalize it? Will it be a big conglomerate that comes in and buys it up and tries to bring it back to life? I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. But interesting things happen with so all the hooting and hollering from Fawn Weaver that she's going to speak her truth. This is not what actually happened. It's what happened. Everything is happening. Maybe Diddy did buy it. And that takes us to the bourbon meme of the week. And I'm going to have to thank the one, the only Travis Robeson for creating this because I thought it was hilarious. Remember last week we were talking about this, and how Jay-Z was the secret investor, and they were trying to hide this huge investment by Jay-Z's. Sorry, JG, I know you're not trying to buy Uncle Nearest. Jay-Z's investment firm. So, and then somebody in the chat said it's been Beyonce the whole time trying to buy it or trying to save it. So Travis Robeson makes this AI fold, and I think I remember said it's like Scooby-Doo, like when you pull off the mask and it's actually like somebody else. So here is the bourbon meme of the week. This is hilarious, completely custom made by Travis Robeson. I think this is genius work. Here it is, the Scooby crew standing in front of Uncle Nearest, Scooby-Doo and the 100th problem. So, it's literally Beyonce with a bunch of cash, and Fred saying, "Is this Jay-Z?" I thought this was so good. This is very clever. So, Travis Robeson, wherever you are, this was pretty genius. So, this is basically what's happening right now in bourbon. Oh my gosh, so crazy. No, JG is not buying it. Let's see here. Who do we got here? Oh, the Knicks are catching up a little bit. Keep going. Yeah, Tupac has finally come out of hiding and buying Old Nearest. Didn't realize Jay-Z was a black woman. I don't think the Scooby team knows who Beyonce is, apparently. Lane getting in here tonight. What's up, Jason? Cheers, guys. Oh, what's up, Stashes and Snacks? Nice to see you, man. Wow, black celebrities aren't the only black people with money. Y'all need to do better. Oh no, I'm not. No, it doesn't mean anything that bad. It's just that Jay-Z was named in the. I understand what you're saying, but Jay-Z was the one that was named in the lawsuit. So that's why Jay-Z's name is being brought up in there. But that's why I was wondering. I was making a point that I'm wondering if it would be cool if another African American owner came in and actually bought Uncle Nearest. I thought that would be really cool to kind of keep that legacy, keep that story going, because that's what it was built on. And obviously good whiskey, the story connected to Jack Daniels. And it's, I just hope it doesn't lose that, because I think that's what makes Uncle Nearest really special. But we'll see what happens in the next 45 days, for sure. Rick Ross has cat. Nick's on fire right now. Okay. I like it. Jason about to get canceled. No, it's fine. No, but I know what they're saying. But honestly, I do think that, really, I really hope that that Uncle Nearest's legacy kind of stays true to what that brand meant. And it's unfortunate what's happening. So, let's see. If Jay-Z and Beyonce don't buy Uncle Nearest, it's going to be black owned. It's not going to be black owned much longer, says Jeff Winbush. I mean, we'll see what happens. I do hope it does become black owned. Down to 3 with Kat on the line for 1. Okay, thanks for the updates, guys. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into this here. So as we're going through this, I'm going to go through the research I did as far as what's the new normal. Ooh. Yeah, that has an incredible nose. What's up, Volt? Oh, man. I mean, the age is so prevalent in this, guys. It's wild. We're turning a new leaf at this company. I want you to make expenses as high as possible. Never turn a profit. It's a new MBA program. What? How's this going to compare to the Calumet 18? I can already... This isn't as cherry forward as the Calumet 18, at least not yet. Although, as you guys know, when Barton stuff starts to sit, that cherry could come out a little bit more. Oh, the Elkwood pick would actually be a great comparison. I could do that for sure. It's somewhere around here. I can almost smell it. I got to try that, dude. This smells incredible. That age is just so beautiful on this. Oh, it's tied. There you go. They don't fire fall on there crazy. She made it all about her, not the brand. I mean, a lot of people have said that. You know, I've never met Fawn Weaver, so I can't say anything to her character. But obviously, the allegations here are very serious against her. It just sucks. It really does. It was one of the best stories in whiskey, and it just feels like it's going to lose that a little bit, unfortunately. This was $500. $500 for this one. So this was not a cheap bottle. Okay, so let's get this is the nerdy portion of the show. So we're gonna get into this a little bit while you guys kind of figure out what else you want me to compare this to. So what I want to get into here is the new norm, the new where bourbon is, new whiskey. What are we looking at? What has been the trend over the last several years? So I did. Oh, is it 600? Oh, I think I got it for. No, I got this for 500. I think so. Did I get it for 500? Yeah, I asked NBC. I called them. I'm like, can you sell me one of those bottles? So it was. I think they got this out of their vault, but I think some of the newer ones are going for like 600. Yeah, some were 500. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. So here's some of the research I did. And again, this is if you want to get a little bit nerdy about the bourbon market. This is a bunch of the research I did. So you guys can let me know. A lot of this you guys probably already know. But I do think there were some tidbits in here that you may not know that I think were interesting as far as numbers, releases, and what, I kind of, dug deep to find out. So let's go to the first one, the new normal. There isn't a definitive database that tracks every 10-plus year bourbon release year by year. But as someone who follows the industry closely, I can commonly say the number of 10-plus-year-old bourbon releases has increased dramatically over the last decade. So that's what this centers around. This centers around all these high ages we're seeing. So let's look back around 2010 to 2015. 10 years ago, if you wanted a bottle of double-digit age statement, the list was surprisingly short. Elijah Craig, before the age statement was dropped, Eagle Rare, Russell Reserve, Knob Creek, Michter's, limited annual releases like Pappy, Antique Collection, Parker's Heritage, Four Roses. Now, again, at the bottom, it says, at that time, the bourbon boom was still developing. In fact, enthusiasts were worried that age statements might disappear because distilleries didn't have enough mature inventory. Many predictions from 2014 to 2015 expected age statements to become rarer and not more common. So that kind of laid the foundation as I was getting into this research. Next slide here. Today, 2021 to 2026. Now we're seeing an explosion of mature bourbon releases thanks to distilleries laying down huge amounts of whiskey during the boom years. Kentucky bourbon production has increased more than 500% since 2000, creating far more mature inventory available today. So look at this. In the last 5 years alone, we've seen annual releases of Michter's and 20-year, Wild Turkey releases featuring 10, 16, and older, Kingdom Kentucky, Calumet Farm, 18-year, Angel's Envy came out with their first age-stated bourbon, numerous NDPs and craft bottlings, 10 to 15-year source bourbon, more age-stated single barrels, and distilleries such as Bardstown Bourbon Company, Penelope, and others. Now, this is the estimate. If you count the annual limited edition special releases and regular shelf offerings, look at the numbers. 2010 to 2015, you had 15 to 25, roughly. 2021 to 2026, 60 to 100 plus. I mean, it's crazy. That gap between 2015 and 2021 is when everybody's whiskey was just sitting there aging, everybody just boosting production like crazy. And that's a roughly 3 to 4 times increase in the number of 10-plus year bourbon releases available to consumers, which is pretty wild. 73. Wemby's doing Wemby things. Well, of course he's going to do Wemby things. What's most excuse me, what's the most interesting here? The biggest change isn't just the number of 10-year bourbons. It's the emergence of 15-year bourbon becoming relatively common, 16 to 18-year releases appearing annually, 20-plus year bourbons no longer being exclusives to BTAC, Pappy, and Parker's Heritage. Distilleries actively marketing age as a premium feature rather than hiding it. So I'd argue we're living in the golden age of mature bourbon inventory right now. The irony is that many enthusiasts in 2014 thought age statements were dying. Instead, the massive production increases from the boom years are now showing up as some of the oldest and most plentiful age-stated releases the category's ever seen. It's a crazy golden age of whiskey. Even Bruce Russell mentioned this when we were kind of talking about the age of whiskey we're in now. Check this out. Bourbon pricing by the numbers. How does this correlate with bourbon pricing? The number of 10-year releases has exploded, but pricing has increased even faster because producers have learned that consumers would pay for scarcity, exclusivity, and story just as much as age. So what happened between 2015 and 2025? Here are the numbers I found. 10-year bourbon, typical MSRP in 2015, 35 to 60. Then you see it just go up. And then look at now the typical MSRP, 2025 to 26. This isn't just, the price increases are insane. Especially what really sticks out to me is that 15-year one. Obviously the 20 plus year one, 150, all going to 12,500. I get that. But the 15-year, for whatever reason, going from 80 and 150 to 200 to 400, because that is kind of like the sweet spot that people like really love bourbon. Just the increase in that is just insane. Look at the examples below that I found. Michter's 10-year was roughly 100, and it's now 200. Russell's Reserve 13 launched at 70. It's now over 200. King Kentucky's modern releases have reached nearly $400. We talked about those being disappointments. New ultra premium releases are pushing boundaries that would have been unimaginable in 2015, such as a 21-year bourbon at $500 and a 30-year bourbon at $12,500. Now we move to the interesting part. If age alone drove pricing, we should have seen prices stabilize or even decline. Why? Because there are far more mature barrels today than there were 10 years ago. Kentucky's aging inventory has roughly doubled over the last decade, reaching more than 16 million barrels. In a purely supply and demand world, more 10-year barrels, more 12-year, more 15-year should mean lower prices, right? Supply, demand, you guys get the math. Instead, distilleries discovered that consumers were willing to trade up into premium tiers. Industry analysts refer to this as premiumization. Consumers increasingly sought limited edition single barrels, barrel proofs, and age-stated releases, allowing producers to move price ceilings dramatically higher. Almost done, guys. 2 more slides here. My theory, we are seeing 2 different markets. I've been talking about this. 2015 market, age equals value. A 12-year bourbon was expensive because mature whiskey was genuinely hard to find. 2025 market, exclusivity is the value, not the age. The gap between cheaper and more affordable bourbon versus premium bourbons has widened dramatically. A 12-year bourbon may cost $200, not because 12-year whiskey is rare, but because it is allocated, has a special story, comes in luxury packaging. It is marketed as a collectible rather than just a bottle of whiskey. The producer wants it positioned as a prestige brand. Think about this. The fact that Angel's Envy released its first 10-year bourbon at $250 illustrates this perfectly. 10-year bourbon is no longer inherently rare, but a premium brand can still command a luxury price if people are willing to pay for it. What do I think this all means? Let's jump to 2031. So my 2031 outlook, if you think about all this, the bourbon industry has overbuilt and consumers haven't realized it yet. For 15 years, distilleries built for endless growth. More warehouses, more stills, more visitor centers, more premium brands. What if demand in 2031 is flat? Then producers face a difficult choice. Cut prices, age whiskey longer, create increasingly expensive luxury releases, sell barrels to NDPs at discounts. That's really the options. But here's my final closing thoughts. The biggest bourbon story of the next 5 years won't be rising prices. It'll be watching the industry figure out what to do with too much old whiskey. The result could be the largest glut of mature bourbon in modern history. The the bourbon boom may ultimately be remembered not for creating a shortage of old whiskey, but for creating the largest surplus of old whiskey the industry has ever seen. So I know it's a lot to take in, guys, and I'm sorry if I bored you to death, but I just wanted to I wanted to get all my thoughts down on paper of what we're seeing and where I think the industry is going. Wasn't sure if you guys had ever really seen those numbers and kind of seen them laid out like that, where you see the prices, how much they've grown. I'm just wondering, like, what you guys think of that. Do you think it's a good thing? It's a bad thing? I do think seeing what these distillers do with all this ultra-aged whiskey going down the pipeline, my question is, will we see some of those regular high-age releases on shelves, like an Elijah Craig 15-year, right? Or will we see all of these high-age whiskeys continue to be premium, the premierization type of outcome, where no matter what comes out, whether it's 15, 16, 17, 18, 24 years, whatever it is, are we still going to see those for going for extremely high prices? Or will there'll be so much out there that people will stop buying it, much like people have stopped buying, like, think about it. People, most likely, the gap has widened, like I mentioned, but all those bourbon bottles that are in that $100 to $200 range, most people aren't buying that anymore, unless it's something really interesting or something really nerdy they're interested in. However, if now, does that become the, I guess, where the high age whiskey becomes like the super, like the 15 to 20, let's say 15 to 20 year. What if that becomes what that mid tier is now? And then all that people want now is the 20 plus stuff. And when I was talking about earlier with rye kind of being in the mix, Pappy, BTAC, all that stuff is now kind of watered down because there's so much high-age whiskey on the market. So I think the new Pappy might not come from a source bourbon. It could be a rye. It could be an American single malt. It could be a 4-grain. It could be something finished. To me, Pappy will always sell because of exclusivity. But in today's time, in this golden age of bourbon, it's not going to sell because it's better than a lot of other whiskeys that are out there. And I will die on that hill as long as I can go, because I know it to be true. I look at the current trend of premium prices as an anticipation of future overabundance. I wish flippers would go away. I mean, but we see what's happening. The flippers are an interesting microcosm of the bourbon market, because the flippers are actually driving if you look at the flippers and what they're commanding for certain whiskeys, they're seeing the same thing. Whereas they can't really sell a bottle of Blanton's or a bottle of E.H. Taylor or Eagle Rare anymore. Nobody cares. All they want is now the exclusivities. So that's why when a bourbon like Gold Foil Edition comes out, a bourbon like this maybe hits their lap, they know that that's what people want, and they could probably make a killer profit from it because it's such a premium number now. I think that's been the biggest shift in the bourbon secondary market. I think all that stuff below that has kind of gone away. You can find a lot of stuff on shelves. People are finding Blanton's, Eagle Rare, Colonel Taylor, Buffalo Trace. You're finding it on shelves now. There's no reason to pay up for it. So where the money is now is going to be these premium offerings. But it'll be interesting as we go down the line to see if these premium offerings stay premium once we have this overabundance of high-age whiskey. At some point, as consumers, we're going to get bored with paying those prices because there's going to be so much of it out there that I think that line is going to shift back a little bit too. And then what happens? Do we get 25 plus year whiskey? 30? The Blade and Bow 30-year becomes the kind of the regular premium now rather than a 24-year-old Barton product like this. It's going to be really interesting to see. So all right. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Hope you enjoyed it. New York is up 2 with 8 minutes left. Oh my God. Let's go. Is a store owner charging a secondary price for a rare bottle considered a flipper? I think so. Just because they're a store, it doesn't exalt them from price gouging, but they're probably going off of the prices that they see on the secondary. And remember, a lot of the secondary people are actually store owners, but rather than putting it on the shelf, they're going to sell it privately to make a bigger profit. No, that's called the museum shop. Yeah. There's still crazy museum shops out there. It's nuts. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed kind of my soapbox and saw some data. I might do a full length video on it just to kind of get it out of my system. But I thought the findings were really interesting, and then what the future of whiskey could bring. I thought it was kind of a cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, let's get some whiskeys to compare to this. So we said Calumet 18, right? I have about the Blue Note 17. Should I try it against that too? I'm starting to see some museum shops around here. Pop quiz time. Pop quiz time. Let me pull up the Elkwood here. Where is the Elkwood? Is the Elkwood here or somewhere else? Elkwood. I don't think it's here. Luckily, I put things in alphabetical order. Here we go. Bluegrass Elkwood. Blue Note 17. Calumet. Where's the hell's my Calumet? Where's the Calumet, guys? Oh, I'm gonna get the Knob Creek 21, even though it's a lowish proof. Where is that Calumet? How did I lose that thing? That thing's a giant box. How about this? Heaven Hill 22 year. Fault Line 19. Oh my God. Let's go. Fault Line 19. This is how you finish your night off, guys. Fault Line 19. Love it. Heaven Hill 22. Yeah, KC21's not going to have the proof. I'm not going to put that in there. Heaven Hill 22. Did I open this yet? I feel like I opened this. I opened it. I opened it. Oh my God. This is the best tasting ever. What else? Blue Run 69 year. Screw you, Nathan. Oh, sorry guys. We're not doing the wild card tonight. I'm sorry that if the thumbnail was misleading. The problem is I thought I had more of Bo's Wine Guy's blend, his cinnamon toast punch, but I don't have any more of it. So he has to send me more before we do the wild card. Sorry to make Jeffrey Wack and Bo's Wine Guy wait. I said that in the beginning, but maybe not everybody was tuned in yet. I came downstairs and I thought I had another sample of his blend, but it was actually someone else's. I misread it, and I'm like, shit. Again, it's probably my bad eyes. Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry about that. Cheesy. The Elkwood I'm putting in. Elkwood's going in. Elkwood's in. Glock's the first. Email your sideshow to my Netscape account. What the hell? All right. Let's start with this lineup and see where we go. That's a lineup. Look at that. Turn that around. Heaven Hill 22. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at this. Look at the gorgeousness. Love it. I'm not going to do Calumet 18. One, because I can't find it. Oh, slideshow. Got it. Slideshow. Fault Line about to tear them up, says 96 Milliman. Yeah, Bo's Wine Guy. Is he doing the wild card? No, Jeffrey, I just said I'm not doing the wild card, dude. Jason, why do you say gorgeous like Joey's agent from Friends? Because that's how I say it. Don't make me hate skipping that 24-year Barton. What a lineup. Elkwood, your best GTS? I finished my Evan Williams 23-year. I only had one bottle of that, and I killed that bottle recently. So let's start with this. Let's see what wins, and then we'll see if we have time, what else is in the mix there. Yeah, again, real quick. Jeff, Bo's Wine Guy. Jeff, I have some of your blend left. I don't have any more Bo's Wine Guys. I thought I had another sample bottle of his Cinnamon Toast Punch blend, but I'm out. So he's sending me more. As soon as I get it, we will do the head-to-head. All right? My apologies. All right. Nashville Barrel Company. What's the score? 90 to 86. Knicks, here we go. Come on. All right. Hey, City Boy Montana in the house. Love your show. Thank you, 406 Bourbon Barrels. Cheers, man. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, wait, there's new comments. I'm missing it. GTS ain't going to compete. Jason, are you tasting the Ardbegs? I'm into Scotch as well. I value your opinion. I'll taste those. Jason, are we doing the wild card tonight? Oh, my God. I'm not saying it one more fucking time. Jeff, blame Bo's Wine Guy. There's not enough samples. All right. Is Buckner's 13 all Barton? This fresh crack tastes like candy and turkey. I think they are. Mix up 6. Wax try to push for a forfeit. Yeah, he might be. All right, so this is the NBC. We're going to try this one first, guys. The oak on this is just luscious. Beautiful sweet oak. Leather, tobacco, all of it. I mean, the cherry is there, but it's not giving me medicinal cherry vibes like Calumet 18 does. This is giving me like dark Luxardo cherry. If somebody asks me about Wild Card again, I'm just going to drink these and then shut the damn stream down, and you guys are not going to know any results. Just gonna freeze frame it on me giving you the middle finger. Don't test me with a good time. Okay, let me try this one, guys. Cheers. Let's see. Jeremy, the industry as a whole is down, but it's skewed toward the lower end of the spectrum, reflects the economy, bad for the lower income spectrum, and still in a boom for the higher income and more experienced exclusive bottles. Jeremy, yeah, and that just hits home my point of that gap really widening, because the middle class and the way the economy is structured right now, it's really hard to, get up to that higher tier at times. I mean, some people are still willing to pay those prices. It just depends on what that whiskey looks like. And I think that's why there's so many people having such a hard time with some of the pricing, which I totally understand. But, it is what it is. The Dirty Bird block. Oh, yeah. Shenanigans. All right. So one more sip of this Nashville. Yep. K-shaped bourbon economy. Loads of great price shelfers and fun luxury bottles. It's great. Who cares what those taste like? I can't get any of them anyway. Tommy, that's because you fucking live in Japan. The hell? I can't get any of them anyway. No shit. I can't get them anyway. Go drink some Japanese whiskey then, dude. Okay, oh my God. I can't get any of them. All right, I get it. They're hard to find bottles. This is a single barrel. You could still get this if you want to pay for it. Oh, dude. What do you want me to do? People get me fired up. Come on, Knicks. Little Barry. Kim's doing great. Kim's doing great, by the way. She's having a little bit of her back's been bothering her. She's been trying to come off more of the pain medicine, but it's been a struggle. Jason, are you still going to put a drink any bottle of Jason Whiskey Lottery into the finals fundraiser? I think I am. Oh, yeah, Spider Noir, pretty good. I got to watch that. Okay, so third sip in on this. It's oaky. There is some very, very, you have to really like oak for this NBC. It's got very, very rich oak. It's not to the point where it's super drying, but it's borderline. But the cherry and the leather, the sweet tobacco, it's like a sweet pipe tobacco. That's the best note that NBC has. This sweet pipe tobacco note that just emerges right in the mid palate is the best part of it. Let's go to the fault line. This is 19-year MGP. No, you didn't miss the Ardbeg yet. A fan ran on the floor? Is that real? Oh, what am I missing? As oaky as the Dickel 21 year? I would say it's maybe close, but it's a different oak. It's more of a sweet oak. It's not a drying oak. All right, fault line. Not as oaky on the nose compared to the NBC, but man, it's got that musty, dark fruit forward oak note that I just love. Did you kill your bottle of Oakley 20? I never got an Oakley 20. This is my bottle of Oakley, the 22-year Evan Hill. Oh my God, this is so good. The fault line, the thing that the fault line does is everything is just intertwined from front to back. The NBC has like beautiful parts that are kind of like it hits you in the front, hits you in the mid, hits you in the back. The fault line is from front to back completely. It's the entire thing is an experience, which is just lovely. New York is up by 8. Holy shit. Let's go, Brunson. Oh my God. Oh my God, the fault line is so I think I like the fault line even more than the Nashville. The fault line, just from front to back, the experience is just top tier, man. That is S tier whiskey. All right, let's go to the Bluegrass. So this is straight up 18-year Barton as well. 18-year Barton versus the 24 year. I'm going to compare it here. Way different of a nose. Wow. The oak and the cherry in the NBC completely outweighs the Elkwood. What the Elkwood has going on for it is, I mean, the brown sugar dark caramel is so paramount in this. It's really beautiful, but it doesn't nearly get to the oak influence that this one has. Jason calls them the New York Brunsons now. Dodgers 5, Arizona 0. Who cares? Big Vic, nobody cares. Nobody cares about the Dodgers. I hope there's an earthquake and it only affects Dodger Stadium. And the whole Dodger Stadium just falls into a pit. With nobody in it. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I just want the whole stadium just to sink in a sinkhole. Thank you very much. Was that aggressive too? I'm sorry. I'm getting canceled tonight. I'm saying too many bad things. Okay, this has medicinal cherry in it compared to the others. Wemby hit a three. Damn. Wemby. Go Phillies, Mark. Nobody cares about the Phillies either. Just like nobody cares about the Mets. Nobody cares about the Dodgers. It's all about the Knicks right now. So shut it. Sorry, I just get fired up. My bad. It's my show. It's my show. I can say what I want. This went medicinal. This is the part of Barton that is that going to stay? That makes me a little bit crazy. Right here. This turned into full on Calumet 18. It's medicinal. It almost tastes peated. It gets to like that level. Is the bluegrass worth the money? I mean, you have to love that profile. You really do have to love the Barton profile, especially if you like that medicinal cherry. If you like that, then it's completely worth it because it has it in spades. It's got oak. It's got a lot of like vanilla custard, but all wrapped up in between. It's just a level of medicinal cherry syrup. All right, Heaven Hill 22. Oh shit. Now, surprising for me, this has less cherry than I thought it would. Oh, but it's got like the perfect amount of sweet oak in there. So Fault Line is released by K&L, which is a liquor store in California. Is that medicinal cherry note a good thing or a bad thing for you? For me, I don't really like it. I like it in the beginning because it's just mainly cherry. But when it gets airtime like this, when it's about this far down the bottle, it gets too medicinal. Like it's like Luden's cough drop on steroids for me. Oh my gosh. This reminds me a lot of the Fault Line, where from front to back, the experience is just stellar. Um, Dude, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? Oh my god! And the finish on the Heaven Hill 22, it just turns into candy. Sweet oak, creme brulee, top, brown sugar, torch, little bit of a cherry topping on there. Holy shit! Um, yeah, if you love medicinal cherry notes, then these Elkwood single barrels could have a lot of those for you. Um, yeah, bourbon drop for sure. If you like that, dude, this is all of it. Well, I mean, Lion Roars. The only one I would really worry about opening up is this Nashville one because this one's a fresh crack. So I think I'll tell you what the NBC might have the best nose of the four. This I could smell this all day long. This is it's just it's perfect. It's decadence. It is super sweet oak, dark fruit, borderline like fig, raisin, cherry. That sweet tobacco, the sweet tobacco note in it is just incredible. Oh my god, it's 94.92. Oh my god, Knicks, don't let them come back on you. Um, if I had to rank these, honestly, NBC has the best nose. Bluegrass for me is going to be last, just because of that medicinal cherry note. It's a great single barrel, but it's just too. It got too medicinal for me. It's going to be between these three, and honestly, yeah, NBC wins on nose. This is second on nose. Third is the Fault Line. Palate. The NBC is a oak lover's dream. This is oaky, sweet, syrupy, but it's oaky. And what's nice though is that the oak does come with sweetness. It's not a drying oak either. This is all sweet oak. It's just a very dense sweet oak, so you could really taste it. The Fault Line and the Heaven Hill 22, I do feel from front to back has a much more cohesive experience. I got to give it to the Heaven Hill 22. Heaven Hill 22 is just stupid. Heaven Hill 22, Fault Line, NBC, Bluegrass. I think that's my ranking. How much of that age do you think the NBC sat in Nashville? I think actually a good amount of time. 2022 is a monster. It really is a monster. NBC sold almost right after it arrived. Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen with these ultra premium whiskeys again. You have to run this back, work the 1792 15 year. Oh, if I can find that, yeah, maybe. H2 equals Power Bottom. Power Bottom doesn't have nearly as much oak as this does. It's got some oak though, for sure. Yeah, probably sat in Nashville for 5 minutes. Dude, this is an epic blend, or an epic showdown. I'm going to, since this is the oakiest, I'm going to kind of, these two are probably the most cohesive. So I think this could warrant a better, like a bigger blend for a base. And then for me, I would add just a little bit of the Nashville, just to give it a little bit more oak and just a touch of the bluegrass. I do not want the medicinal cherry overtaking it. So after this, I'm going to try the Ardbeg, and then we'll call it a night. And hopefully I'll be celebrating. Fuck, San Antonio's up by 1. Oh, this game's too much. It's going to come down to the damn final possession. Can't even handle this. That's a hell of a blend right there. That is perfect. Oh, it's so good. So good when it hits your lips. I love it. Brunson just hit a 3. Yeah, baby. 97-95. All right, guys. We're going to have a live reaction to the end of the game here. I know it's a little bit late. It's 11:06. I can't turn it on, obviously. I don't want to be canceled. It's 97-95 New York. 1:45 left. Let's go. I'm watching it. Fucking cut Wemby down. Cut his ass down. No, 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 no. He missed. Rebound Knicks, baby. Hold on to it, baby. Hold on to it. Let's go. Smart. Be smart with it. Be smart with the ball. Smart with the ball. Smart with the ball. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that blend. I'm going to crack open this Ardbeg 10 year. Oh. Oh, that's a foul, baby. He fouled him. Is it a shooting foul, though? Was he shooting? And after this, my palate's going to be wrecked. Oh, God. Even though it's light, it's going to be bad. Oh, my God. It smells like candy bacon. Candy bacon. You need to have a TV behind the camera, but mute it. Am I behind? Like people are saying up by 4. Yeah, I think it's a little behind. Up by 4. Okay, let's go. That's good. That's 2 possession game right there. All right, Ardbeg 10 cast strength. Hell yes. That's what we want. And Pete, Oh, he stole it! Simmer down now. Hold it, hold it. Hold that shit. Oh, what a shot! Oh my God, it's 101.95. Wemby for three. He missed it. Rebound Knicks. And a foul. Woo! Sorry, guys. Fucking A, baby. All right. Last pour of the night. Ardbeg 10-year cast strength. It smells like candied bacon. This smells incredible. Now you got to wear this outfit every game. Yeah. Oh, way more dirty on the back end of this than I thought it was going to be. This starts off like candied bacon, really sweet peats, and then it gets down and dirty on the back end. This is like earthy, peaty, a little bit oaky, all on the back end. If you're feeling adventurous, add a tiny amount of the Ardbeg cast strength to your heavily aged bourbon blend. It won't work from... I can't. I don't think I could do that. Dude, Mike, Sunday evening scotch, this is so good. This is what I want in Ardbeg. I want it dirty, sweet, bacony. The proof on this, cast strength, is 61.7%. I mean, 123.4 proof. That's right. I did the math fast. I think I'm better at math the more I drink. I turn into like a savant, like Rain Man. Not really. All right, commercial break. This Ardbeg 10 years, probably the best Ardbeg I've had in a very, very long time. Peat and bourbon work surprisingly well together, down and dirty on the back end. That's right, little Barry. That's how we do it here on the Master and Drum. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I will not be live next week. I'm going to be traveling, so I'm glad we had some fun tonight, had a little bit. You know what? We're going to stay live until the game's over. We'll wait till the game's over. We'll hang out. How many steps can you take in the NBA? Like, yeah, Brunson travels a lot. Favorite scotch lately, Highland Park. Fuck, do I have a poor Ardbeg now? Yeah. I'm going to try this Dolce really quick, too. So, the Dolce... Man, I feel like I just smoked a cigar. This is so smoky, but I haven't had Ardbeg in quite a while. So this Ardbeg Dolce is a... what is this finished in? Why do they make the text so small just to make fun of me? What is the Ardbeg Dolce, guys? I know it's finished in something. Ardbeg Dolce. All right. No, I don't want that freaking page. All right, so it means classic X. So it marries classic ex bourbon matured Ardbeg with spirit aged in sweet Sicilian Marsala Dolce casks. 47.8% ABV. That's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a low proof point. But we're gonna give it a go here. I gotta switch this up. Let me go back to the live stream. What's up, guys? We're back. Do tell Jason won't be live next week because he's going to be streaking outside of Madison Square Garden. Now I'm going to be in Wisconsin actually visiting Scott, and we're doing two really, really cool barrel picks at Driftless Glen. A 10-year rye and a wheated bourbon. Wheated bourbon is probably one of their more exclusive bottlings. So we're going to be trying to find a great. So the 10-year rye is going to end up being our 13th donut bottle. We've had this running theme for we've been calling them the driftless donuts because they're all so sweet and decadent. So the 10-year rye, we've done 12. The 10-year rye is going to be our 13th. It's going to be the Baker's Dozen. And then we're just going to do a wheated bourbon for fun. Hey, what's up, Sunny and Scotch? Cheers, brother. Great live. Love you ending with Ardbeg. Yep. Ardbeg cash strength is better than Dolce to me. I love the cash strength, great value. Pair it with some vanilla ice cream. Dang Hooper says I bought a donut today. I tell you what, I get those Dolce casks right away. That is, and the bourbon. The ex-bourbon cask is super strong here. Showing highlights. How do I feel about that? I get the finishing cask right on the very end, which isn't bad. I get more of the ex-bourbon cask. It's got a lot of vanilla. It's got some honey to it to go along with that smoke. But I feel like I want even, maybe if it opens up, I'll get more of the Dolce cask in it. But I think the 10 years is superior. This 10-year, guys, if you're peated whiskey fans, if this Ardbeg 10-year cask strength lands in your area, this thing is a beast. It is bacon. It's sweet, smoky bacon, and it's just a dirty Diana on the back end, dude. Oh my gosh. Getting down. Yes. Run it out, Knicks. And the Knicks win game 1, baby. Holy shit. 3 more games. 3 more games. Love it. Freaking love it. Knicks win. It's over. And look at Brunson's like, hey, referee, you're a dickhead. You missed like 25 calls. I can't wait to watch the highlights because I missed the whole game. All right, guys. We finished it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for the updates. Thank you for indulging me during my nerdy whiskey time. I really appreciate it. And with all that said, like I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. Cheers. Love all you guys. Not doing an after party tonight because actually my cousin is here. So going to go upstairs and see what my cousin Joey's doing upstairs, watching the Knick game. And yeah, what a tasting tonight. I will see you in 2 weeks. And we'll go from there. So cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And go Knicks. Cheers, guys.